Quote dissection. This is by Seneca. Everything hangs on one's thinking. A man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself to be. Now that's pretty deep, and like to some that might sound obvious, but like that's really just it. If you are constantly in a negative mindset and you're constantly like, well, I don't want to, like, how do I even explain this? If you're constantly in a negative mindset and you're constantly putting whatever you're doing down or putting yourself down doing that thing, um, if you, I don't know, let's say you don't like your job, you eat like shit, and you don't work out. Well, you might think to yourself, I'm such a fucking loser. Okay, by the way, if this is you, do not feel offended, okay? I'm not trying to call anybody out here. But like, if you're feeling depressed and you don't actually do anything, and you're constantly just telling yourself, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. I'm feeling down because of this. I'm feeling down because I don't have toaster strudels in the freezer, or I don't have like a six pack or something. Well, like obviously you're not going to feel happy if you're constantly putting yourself down and in that negative mindset. It's going to take change to change. Like you have to take a step in the right direction, and that direction would be more positive thinking and maybe recognizing that the grass isn't always greener somewhere else. The grass is greener where you water it. So, just look inwards and ask yourself, is there a mindset change that you could be making in order to become the person you want to be, or just take just a small step in the right direction? Because that's all you have to start with, is just a small step. Um, it's just like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. And just to relate this back to me, like a man is as unhappy as he convinces himself he is. Well, it's like you can kind of make this. It's a generic quote, not generic, but like it's a broad quote, and you can kind of apply it to many different things. Just for example, I'm really trying to quit vaping right now, and if you constantly think to yourself like, fuck, I could really use a vape right now, fuck, I could really use some nicotine right now, then you're probably not going to be successful. But if you accept that thought, I could really use a vape right now. Yes, I could. But is there another way I can get through this craving without giving in to the substance? That might be, I don't know, doing 10 push-ups, or just it's just taking a different route and doing something out of the normal and changing that negativity. And obviously, like, yeah, it sounds straightforward. A man is as unhappy as he convinces himself to be, or as he convinces himself he is. But like I said, this is broad, so you can actually apply it to many things. Not to like get too deep here, but like I'm a maintenance man, and that's obviously, it's not the best job in the world, but it's actually a pretty great job for where I'm at right now, and kind of where I want to start taking steps towards in life, or at least it was. Um, you know, it's just a good job, and I like the work, and so I am not unhappy. And days go by quick, I love the schedule. You could I could work more hours. I'm part-time. I would like full-time, but I'm almost working full-time hours. It's just like 1 or 2 shifts a week where I miss it. Hey, Stinky. And I could have the mindset like, fuck, I really need more hours. I really want more hours, blah blah blah. Or you can be grateful for what you have, because when I was in school, it was just going more and more broke consistently. So at least I have money flowing now, and I can kind of pay bills and start working towards, you know, getting my debt down and things like that. I'm very happy that I'm able to do that now. But you see how, like, you could have that other voice that goes, well, and I do have this other voice, but that I could be making more money or having more hours doing something else. But the thing is, I like it, and I don't want to fuck with a good thing. I am happy right now, and so, like, why would I change up? Anyway, I'm kind of rambling here, but just to say that I have a regular old job, regular average Joe job, but I like it because my mindset is good, and it's a positive mindset towards the job. And I can actually provide you with another example. I worked construction for a few years, and I always, like, at the beginning, I liked it. I always liked the work. It's hard work, but you go home fulfilled and tired at the end of the day, and that's nice. And the paychecks were nice. But I was getting really tired towards the end of it, and so my mindset started to change, and that happens when you're tired. Um, and I started telling myself, like, fuck, do I really even like this anymore? Do I really like this anymore? And eventually that switched to, I really don't like this anymore. And I would tell myself that every morning before starting work. So of course I was destined to not like it anymore. But maybe if I had just kept that happy-go-lucky attitude that young Jaden had, it never would have happened. And I never would have got tired of it, never would have been forced into that negative mindset. And that's just an example of how you can convince yourself that you don't like something, even when you might. Just remember that it's not easy to just be here and do, like, just like survive, like, to provide for yourself is not very easy. And because it's not easy, you don't really want to have that negative mindset, because you have to fight the difficult times. And you need to keep a positive attitude, because a positive attitude is going to get you through. Whereas a negative mindset leads you to quitting. And it kind of also just ties into, like, in order to get good at anything, you have to try. So trying and having that positive attitude is going to lead you way further than not trying with a negative attitude. Obviously, this goes without saying. But if you just put a little effort in and a smile on your face, even if you aren't fucking feeling smiley, really, I think you'll go far. But yeah, that was quote dissection. Remember, invest in yourself, hold the door for a stranger, smile at a kid, just be friendly, spread kindness.